first show ends, a few things about me. You may know me from my work in politics, the presidential campaigns of Senator Bernie Sanders and President Biden, or even advising Vice President Harris. I am blessed to have had the opportunity to sit at the table where big decisions were made. I built a successful career speaking for other people, but now I have something to say. So thank you for joining me at my table here on MSNBC. You know, as a little girl growing up in North Omaha, I used to talk into a spoon or a hairbrush, pretending to be a news anchor. Donna Burns was her name. And now to sit here in the DC Bureau with the show named after me, it is just really a full circle moment. I am filled with gratitude. And now I want to tell you a few things about this show.
All right, guys. So as you just saw there, that was former NFL Kamala Harris, the Harris-Biden administration aide, Miss Simone B. Sanders, on her new show on MSNBC. Okay, and apparently her highly anticipated show, like a lot of these new woke shows on mainstream liberal media, is off to a rough start as ratings have flopped. Okay, and this is a bad indication for Miss Jen Psaki, who is also set to join MSNBC with her own show as well that nobody will probably watch, right? I mean, who would have thought that America doesn't want to watch state-sponsored corporate news, right? I mean, that's basically what MSNBC has become at this point, right? A mouthpiece for the Biden administration. And this is a tale of how just because you jump ship doesn't necessarily mean that you're out of the woods yet, okay? Because you failed with the Biden administration, okay, and their messaging, which is what I believe Simone Sanders was a part of. That's what she was doing for them. So do you think that the American people are going to want to hear what you got to say? I really don't think so. I don't know why these executives make these decisions to bring on these people, right? I really don't. So we're going to read about this because this is not a good indication for Jen Psaki, who is set to join MSNBC, as it is largely predicted, at least by people with some common sense and that know what the hell they're talking about, that nobody's going to watch her show, right? Unlike Kayleigh McEnany on Fox News. I think Kayleigh McEnany has been a star on Fox News. I don't think that the Democrat White House officials are going to have the same type of success. But let's read here. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki is set to join MSNBC after she departs the Biden administration this week, but she won't be the first Biden alum to host a show for the network this week. She'll hope to have a better start, though. That honor goes to Simone Sanders, the former Kamala Harris aide, whose highly publicized weekend MSNBC program debuted Saturday with only 361,000 viewers and a paltry 29,000 in the advertiser-coveted 25 to 54 demographic. She did even worse on Sunday, reaching just 344,000 total viewers. In a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Sanders insisted that as an MSNBC host, she will not be a spokesperson for the Biden administration. Cap. That ain't nothing but cap. You ain't gonna do nothing but be a mouthpiece for the Democrat Party because your network is a mouthpiece and an arm of the Democrat Party. So why would you be any different? You work for the administration. Quote, "It is not my job to be a spokesperson, first and foremost, and I feel that viscerally," Sanders told THR. "If I still want to be a spokesperson, I would have stayed in that job." No, you left the job because you knew that the Biden administration was a sinking ship, right? That's why you left the job. While she may no longer be on the Biden payroll, her giddiness over her sit-down with Joe Biden suggests she still takes marching orders from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Quote, "I cannot think of a better first guest from my first show than the First Lady of the United States of America," Sanders told Biden at the top of the interview. "I'm very excited to talk to you about your life, your family, your work, your trip that you're about to take." The softball questions Sanders asked range from the First Lady's upcoming visit to Ukraine, the ongoing Roe v. Wade drama, her teaching career, to how she handles attacks towards her family, all while Sanders showered her former boss's wife with praise. Ain't it a shame how your debut show has the First Lady of the United States and it tanks, right? It absolutely tanks, which is bad news for Jen Psaki, who is jumping from one sinking ship to another sinking ship of MSNBC. So with that being said, speaking of tanking stocks and sinking ships, we got to talk about Netflix, okay? As apparently they've waken up a little bit here. And I'm talking about in a good way, right? A good way. They seem to be pushing back against some of the woke employees that have caused them some issues in the past. As reportedly, they have fired a major warning shot at their woke employees with a new culture memo. So let's see what Netflix is telling their woke employees. A new corporate culture memo from Netflix is taking a hardline stance on attempts to silence artistic expression by warning those who are offended by the streaming service's content that they may want to go find a job somewhere else. Wow, they're finally putting their foot down against the wokes. Variety reports that the change in Netflix's company culture appears to be in large part due to the backlash the streaming service faced from woke employees last year over its Dave Chappelle special, which the employees claimed was transphobic. The updated Netflix culture memo includes a new section called Artistic Expression that states that it will not censor specific artists or voices even if employees consider the content quote-unquote harmful. Quote, if you find it hard to support our content breadth, Netflix may not be the best place for you, the memo states. Later adding that employees may be required to work on projects that they, quote, perceive to be harmful, and that if they have a hard time accepting their work assignment, they might want to consider working somewhere else. Finally, Netflix puts their foot down on the wokes, right, and tells them who is the boss. And guys, why do you think this is happening? Why do you think this is happening, guys? Right? Do you think it has something to do with the fact that their stock is tanking? Okay, do you think it has something to do with the fact that they're losing hundreds of thousands of subscribers? Okay, they're projected to lose millions this year, right? Do you think that it has something to do with the fact that there's been massive backlash against them for their woke programming that they've been pushing on their subscribers? I think it has something to do with that, right? I think Netflix is telling their woke employees, look, y'all not really good for business, right? Y'all not good for business, and you're a distraction, okay? You're distracting us from making programming that is actually going to make us some money, right? Like the Dave Chappelle special. I'm pretty sure that actually made Netflix some money, okay? All the woke content that Netflix puts out, you know, the pro such and such alphabet content they put out, I'm pretty sure is not making them the same amount of money, okay? So at the end of the day, a business is going to do what a business is going to do, okay? And when it comes down to the money, green is the only thing that actually matters, right? It's the only race that matters. It's the only sex that matters. It's the only gender that matters. That's the only thing that matters, right? And Netflix is choosing the green, right? That's what they're choosing. Let's read a little bit more here. Quote, entertaining the world is an amazing opportunity and also a challenge because viewers have very different tastes and points of view. So we offer a wide variety of TV shows and movies, some of which can be provocative. The news section reads, later adding, quote, we support the artistic expression of the creators we choose to work with and that we let viewers decide what's appropriate for them versus having Netflix censor specific artists or voices. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't good for their business, right? They're not going to sit here and censor programming because their employees don't like it. That don't make sense. You're there to work. You're paid to work. It doesn't matter if you like the product that you're working on. That's not what you're paid to do. You're not paid to like it. You're paid to work on the product and to make the product the best product that it can be. And if you don't want to do that, then you can kick rocks, right? You can leave. That's what Netflix is saying. And I'm pretty sure these employees won't be missed and they will be replaced. It is what it is. Netflix reportedly fired the leader of a trans organization within the company last October who allegedly organized a walkout to protest the company backing Chappelle over his special, The Closer. All right, so we all know about that. Netflix is pushing back, which is good for them, right? That's good for them. I'm glad to hear that they're standing up to their woke employees because that company has gone too far down the woke rabbit hole and it's hurting them in the pockets, right? It's hurting their bottom line, right? And when the bottom line is hurting, companies are going to react appropriately, right? So that being said, it's not just woke Netflix that has been facing some internal pressure from its employees in regards to its stances on certain issues. PlayStation is also facing some backlash from its employees because they basically told their employees to keep their mouths closed when it comes to talking about Roe v. Wade. Right? So let's actually read a little bit more about this because this could be the next corporate soap opera in the mode of Netflix. So let's read here. Earlier this month, a leaked draft from the United States Supreme Court revealed that it intended to overturn Roe v. Wade, a 1973 ruling that legalized a woman's right to abortion. It is a move that has sparked overwhelming backlash and a tremendous moment of fence-sitting from one Sony executive. In an internal email this Thursday acquired by Bloomberg, PlayStation President Jim Ryan urged employees to, quote, respect differences of opinion on abortion rights. He then reportedly proceeded to spend the next 5 paragraphs talking about his cat's birthday. He did that to appease the wokes, right? He did that to say, hey, you know what, guys? Y'all need to respect each other's opinions when it comes to, this issue, right? Which apparently is a foreign concept in this country, okay? Respecting somebody else's opinion, even if you don't agree with it. But apparently him talking about his cat in order to try to deflect from him basically telling his employees to not argue with each other about politics didn't go over too well with some of the employees. This naturally has not gone down well with staff. Bloomberg reports that internal conversations with employees at several PlayStation studios expressed displeasure, with one writing that they'd never been so mad about a cat birthday before. The sharp pivot had some staff feeling that their rights had been disrespected or trivialized by the email. Ryan's comments stand in stark contrast to those made by Bungie, which firmly stated it would never avoid politics by declaring support for Roe v. Wade, roasting critics on Twitter who told the Destiny Maker to stick to games. But of course, Bungie was recently bought by Sony for a terrifying $3.6 billion, and I can't imagine staff there are particularly pleased with Ryan's comments. Bungie wasn't alone in speaking out against the proposed Roe v. Wade overturning. Shortly after making its announcement, Double Fine joined in with his own statement of support, similarly encouraging fans to donate to women's support charities. I've reached out to Bungie and Sony for comment. Yeah, so I did those stories because I think that they signal a change in the culture war, right? The tide is turning, like I've been telling you guys for a long time, in regards to how even woke corporate America is trying to be a little bit less woke. I mean, we already knew that nobody was watching mainstream liberal television, right? We knew that nobody was going to watch a former Biden administration official spout state-sponsored talking points, right, to them. They weren't going to do that. But again, what's happening at Netflix, as you can see, is them standing up to the employees and saying, look, you woke people are coming in the way of the bottom line, right? You're getting in the way of the bottom line. And because of that, you can kick rocks, right? You either got to deal with us trying to make money, okay, and putting out not woke content that's going to offend people, or again, you got to kick rocks, okay? We're not bending the knee to you anymore. And then you have PlayStation. The executive told his staff that, hey, you need to respect everybody's opinion on abortion. But usually how that conversation goes, that announcement goes, is that, well, we come out in support of Roe v. Wade and blah, blah, blah. It usually goes left, okay? It's just kind of surprising to see stories about corporate America now kind of pushing back against all the wokeness. I mean, I had done a story maybe a couple weeks ago about ExxonMobil and them banning the pride flag outside of one of their corporate offices. They said, no, you can't fly that, okay? You can't fly that during Pride Month. So I don't think it's a coincidence, man. I think that corporate America is thinking long and hard about whether or not they actually want to be as politically active as they've been in the past. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.